Blade's friend Wesker is killed once again! What an original concept. So, a group of vampires have been trying to get to Dracula. It only took by the third movie for us to actually have Blade versus Dracula, and of course it would be the worst one. They basically managed to get Blade framed for murder, which, all things considered, couldn't be that hard, honestly. And so the FBI's raid the hideout and kill Wesker, which, oh god, there's just so much poor acting in this movie. Like, it was so obvious Wesley Snipes was just phoning this role in, but so many people have already said that. I'll be real. Let me just go over the points that I feel could have made this movie a lot better, especially if remade by today's standards. First of all, the idea of Blade versus Dracula should have been much more interesting, should have been much more grandiose. They resurrect Dracula because his blood should enable all vampires to be able to walk in sunlight because he's able to walk in sunlight. That's weird. That's weird. That's very, very weird. Like, the fact that these movies hasn't been Blade slowly moving up the totem pole of the vampire hierarchy is very weird to me because he keeps taking all these vampire lords. But I guess they needed to make it so that Dracula was this imposing figure. And physically, yes, because he's played by Dominic Purcell, and he is a physically imposing dude. He's just, not Dracula. He could have been, had they done more with the hair and makeup. Give him the more recent Dracula design with the long white hair and the makeup and all that. Do him up like how Dave Bautista is done Drax. You could have made this work because Dracula has this armored up with this crimson red armor and the glowing red eyes and the fangs. Like, do up some good makeup for him. But he's just some dude in this. Like, he's just some really jacked dude. And it doesn't sell it. Honestly, to be frank, Dominic Purcell just does not have. He's not as. He feels more like a henchman than the lead villainous character. And then they bring in Whistler's daughter, Abigail, who, let me be frank, the way that Jessica Biel got herself, like, super in shape, I don't know if it was specifically for this movie, but the way she ended up in shape, she should have been playing Elsa Bloodstone. She should have been playing Elsa Bloodstone. That would have been awesome. Because, look, you're trying to form the Night Stalkers with having Hannibal King there played by a very underutilized Ryan Reynolds, who just could not make this movie work, let me be real. And, okay, Hannibal King is a comic book character. Do I give a shit? No! Dude, give me Werewolf by Night or something. Dude, make him Moon Knight. Have him play, someone with mental issues who's a little bit comedic. I know that sounds far-fetched, but that would have been more interesting than what we got. Like, I'm serious. You just needed characters with more interesting backstories and more interesting gimmicks going on here. And Abigail and Hannibal just were not the characters for that. I know at that point, if you're including those characters, you're damn near getting into the Midnight Suns, but considering the recent Midnight Suns, that game that's going to be coming out, nobody really gives a shit about keeping things in line with the comics for who's portrayed on a team. Not to mention, something was just off with the action here. Like, my god. The action wasn't as bad as what you would get in Iron Fist, but it got pretty damn close. And, like, seriously, some of these motherfuckers need to understand that if you phone it in, people will call you out. And it sucks too, because you had a who's who of pretty fun characters, all things considered. You even got freaking Triple H up into this shit. Come on. But they just did nothing with this script. Like, I know that Snipes was not happy with the fact that they had replaced the scriptwriter. Well, no, the scriptwriter, the director, with the scriptwriter, because David S. Goyer was the writer, but Guillermo del Toro was the director. But I can kind of understand his apprehension, because the first movie was done by Stephen Norrington, and it was a good movie, but having Guillermo del Toro as director, it makes me wish they had brought him back, because he probably would have done a great job in getting that third movie out. That's not to say David S. Goyer isn't good. I mean, he was involved with the Dark Knight's trilogy, let's be real, but never to this capacity. I mean, he was also involved with Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, so not everything he touched turns to gold. And considering most of his directing involvement, it's mostly a lot of films you've never really heard of, or just didn't really stay in the public's consciousness. It was not a good choice, all things considered. I don't know why they chose to do what they did with such a movie that could have been a lot more high profile and made a lot more money, but it was a bad decision. They should have done what they would have needed to do to keep Guillermo del Toro on. And I definitely cannot blame Snipes for a lot of his issues on this, because it's just like, what were you guys kind of thinking? What were you guys thinking? It was a bad call on multiple fronts with the way that they handled this, and I don't know. I just don't know. Could this have been salvaged? Oof, that's a rough call, but giving Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel better characters to play with more interesting directions, or at least having a director who just knew how to work having two additional characters involved in it, because it's just like, man, just keep the blade if you can't work these extra characters. It's cool that they wanted to give Blade some solid allies, but this movie is honestly just better off forgotten. The third movie curse continues. But tell me your thoughts on Blade Trinity in the comment section below. Did you actually like it? Why? I'm very, very interested to know why. If anything more than a laugh, I'm curious to know your reasoning. So let me know in the comment section below, what was your favorite part? What was your least favorite part? What part made you crack up the most? And if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.